That's fine. It's fine. Everything will probably be fine. So for those of you following along at home, I was supposed to be doing a race down in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas this weekend. Things just didn't pan out. The logistics didn't work out to be able to take the time to go down there for the Despair mountain bike race, backpacking race, 191 miles through the Ozark Mountains. But I've been training, and I wanted to do something to keep with the spirit of the commitment that I made to that race. So I got to thinking, what could I do to kind of honor the spirit of the race down in the Ozark Mountains? We are sitting on a foot of snow in St. Cloud, Minnesota right now. We had a an early spring blizzard came through and dumped some snow on us. However, just 3 hours south of us down in southern Minnesota along the Root River Valley, it's going to be 55 degrees tomorrow, and there's hardly any snow on the ground. So I am sitting in Lanesboro, Minnesota at the Coffee Street Inn. And tomorrow morning, I will get on my bike, and I will do a 104-mile loop with almost 5,000 feet of climbing through the bluffs and valley of this area of Minnesota. This is as Ozarky as I can get in the state. I work through my despair of not being on the race. This is a leaving. Come join me on this ride tomorrow as I alleviate my despair by suffering in the gravel here in southern Minnesota. It's 7:45. It's in the upper 20s. About 15 minutes later is when I want to get started due to I can't find my room key fiasco. But we're ready to roll. So let's do this thing. First, coffee. Well, impediment number one, Paddle on Coffee doesn't open till 8. So it looks like we'll be having coffee in Fountain. Fingers crossed.
Okay, note to past self from future self. Although your sense of optimism can be charming, you probably should have stuck around 15 minutes and gotten yourself a cup of coffee. Lanesboro is a fun little town, and it sits kind of right in the middle of the Root River Trail. It's a bit of an anomaly in Minnesota, and it really feels like a little mountain village. You're surrounded by bluffs and cliffs, and part of the city is actually built up on a bluff. It's really gorgeous. And as you exit town, you cross over the Root River and start heading to the city of Fountain, which is about 11 and a half miles away. About a mile out of Lanesboro, the trail was closed due to a bridge outage. I had scoped out a detour the day before, and that really gave me a chance to get a feel for some of the amazing backcountry gravel I'd be getting in the middle section of this route. Also provided for some epic shadow shots. After about 3 miles, I was back on the trail, heading towards Fountain.
All right, we're coming into Fountain. Town number 1. We're just about 11 miles into the ride. It's 9:05, and I need some coffee. I need coffee bad. Fountain has no coffee. Apparently they don't even have a gas station where somebody can get a cup of coffee. So
It looks like no coffee for at least 15, 16 miles. That's fine. It's fine. Everything will probably be fine. I am really trying to put a brave face on here, but you can clearly start to see the dried tears forming on my glasses. At this point, my caffeine deficiency starts to really set in, and I start second-guessing those beers I'd had with the rando locals the night before. I backtrack 6 miles down the Root River Trail to pick up the Harmony Preston Trail. One of my goals for this route was to ride the entire paved trail system in the area. I'll drop links to the trail system map and my Strava route in the description. Preston is about 12 miles from Fountains. I'm only about 23 miles and 1,000 feet of climbing into this ride. I stopped at a trailside picnic table and took stock of my situation. Mentally, this was the lowest point in my ride. I was really feeling a lack of sleep, questioning my fitness, and probably working through a very mild hangover. The guy gets to thinking, I could turn around and bike the 12 miles back to Lanesboro and call it a day. And then, it's here that I think the fortitude from the cold, hard overnight rides I did training for the race really paid dividends. I'd gotten into some seriously dark headspaces on those rides, and as I ran my moral algebra, I quickly realized that comparatively, I was doing pretty well, so I sojourned on. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for being able to find that kind of clarity in such a highly decaffeinated state. So about 32 miles in, it's starting to warm up a little bit, but the wind is still pretty cold. It's a lot of climbing. This is going to be one for the ages, I think. This is going to be a long day. I'm running the math in my head, and it's going to be a long day in the saddle. The trail is absolutely gorgeous, but this is the most elevation I've ever seen on a paved trail. This is ridiculous, but I'm going to fuel. I've been through three towns now, no coffee anywhere. Nothing was even open for me to stop and get anything. So I'm gonna need to get water in Harmony, which I believe is X number of miles up the trail here. And hopefully some caffeine in my body. I'm sure spirits will lift at that point. But good day on the bike. It ain't snowing and I ain't in the office, so. I continued the climb up into Harmony, looking forward to finding a gas station and a place to sit down. I lucked out with a quick trip where I bought a Monster coffee and, learning from past mistakes, a spare Monster Mango Loco or whatever for later. I also snagged a Gatorade, a gallon of water, and a bag of Cheez-Its. Behold the contemplative Eby, snacking at a wayside rest, considering the decisions that have brought him to this point in his life. Having refueled, and despite heading into a brutal headwind, I was excited to get off the trail and onto the gravel. This is where I would be coming into some of the most rugged and scenic sections of this route, as well as the lion's share of the climbing. I just am so happy with this route. I bet they don't have bicycles in the Ozarks right now. And maybe they do, I don't know. But this is a great route. It's going to be a long day. It's slow. When I'm in the wind, it's right in my face. I'm out of the wind currently, but there's a little pub in town where I had some chicken wings last night. I think I'm gonna crush some more of them chicken wings tonight. Well, I gotta keep pedaling. EB out. This section of the route continued to take me down some of the most scenic terrain of the ride. The intense climbs were offset by the rugged beauty of these minimum maintenance roads. This truly was exactly what I was looking for. I finally came off the dirt and onto a long stretch of pavement where I experienced some of the biggest climbs of my cycling career before an exhilarating and much needed descent into Houston. So I made it to Houston. I'm finally pulling out of this brutal headwind, and I should have a tailwind, excuse me, all the way back to where the hell am I staying? Lanesboro. That's so I got about 30 miles left in the ride here. It'll all be on the paved trail. I've done like 4,800, 4,600 vertical feet of climbing, and it says I have 800 feet left. So that's nothing compared to what I've been through. There's been some serious climbs on this one. I'm way more optimistic. I blame the turning into the tailwind and also the Monster Loco that I drank. I think that that was some liquid optimism. But anywho, I am in Houston. I'm just charging up some camera batteries really quick. I wanted to charge my watch, but looks like I let that thing go too long and it died. So I won't have a track on that, but I will have a track on my Garmin. But I'm feeling pretty good. I did some stuff today I didn't think I could do. I've definitely changed as a rider, I think, and as a person over the last year or so, and as a rider over the last month and a half. So, all right, that thing isn't going to pedal itself, and I'd like to have as much daylight as possible.
To add some context to what I just said, in the last year and a half, I've lost over 80 pounds as I've resolved this cognitive dissonance of being an obese man in his 50s versus the endurance athlete I felt I was inside my skin suit of bad choices. Since committing to the Despair race a month and a half ago, I increased my weekly training from just over 100 miles a week to 200 miles a week, including 2 80-plus mile cold, dark, and at times demoralizing overnight rides. I have changed. What I've come to realize, it's never too late to finish stronger. But that's probably a topic for another video. Just outside of Peterson, I started losing my race with the sun. And about 12 miles out from Lanesboro, I had to turn on my lights for the shallow, long, dark ascent to the finish. With my despair alleviated, I rolled back into Lanesboro. When all the numbers were tallied, I'd ridden 108 miles and pedaled up almost 5,500 feet of elevation. My Strava told me I had done my largest climb on record. I went back to my room, took a quick shower, and changed my street clothes, and then wandered back down to the High Court pub, where I refueled on popcorn, beer, and a double order of chicken wings. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you or somebody you know needs some support or help getting healthier, drop me a comment, subscribe to my channel, or check me out at finishtstronger.fit. Until next time, love yourself, be kind to others, and no matter where you're starting from, you can finish stronger.